The people, the headlines, the issues impacting you, all on This Week in Cincinnati on 9 on Your Side.
All right, welcome back. With us this morning on This Week in Cincinnati is Ohio Secretary of State Jon Husted, who is also running for governor. Current Governor John Kasich has served 2 terms and cannot run for re-election. So again, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Why do you want to be governor?
Well, I want to bring new ideas and a new generation of leadership in Ohio so that no matter where you grew up, whether you're an adopted kid from a small town like me or a kid that grew up in an inner city neighborhood, that Ohio is the place that you can still live the American dream. And what I mean by that is that by the time the next governor finishes their first term in office in January of 2023, we're going to have cars on our highways without steering wheels, artificial intelligence integrated to more and more aspects of our lives, drones delivering packages. It's going to create economic, cultural, and social change. And the states that are prepared for that are going to be the ones that win. The ones that aren't will fall behind. I want to put a winning agenda together so that Ohio and Ohioans can win a brighter future.
Are you considered a Kasich 2.0, or are you your own individual?
I'm my own individual. I'm not running to be anybody else. I'm running to be the best version of Jon Husted that I can be, focused on serving other people. I mean, in our family, we believe in service. We believe that you are better off when you serve others, and that's the mentality we bring into this. And I feel blessed every day. I was adopted. I grew up in a working class family in a really small town. I never thought I'd meet a governor, let alone be the governor.
Right.
And they have the opportunity to serve your fellow Ohioans and to build this state into what I believe it can be, more prosperous, a state where we help people who have fallen behind. I mean, let's face it, in the last couple of decades, many Ohioans have fallen behind economically, while others have done very, very well. And we've got to build a system of education and job training that helps lift those people up into better paying jobs and gives them the opportunity to have the jobs of the future.
All right, there is a major issue, and everyone is obviously aware of it, the heroin epidemic and opioid epidemic that we face here in Ohio and across the country. What would your plan be to eradicate the problem? And I know it's a broad question, but you have some people that say that Narcan is not the answer. You have here in our area, Butler County Sheriff says his deputies are not going to carry Narcan. He doesn't believe that is what his deputies should be doing. He doesn't think other law enforcement agencies should be doing that. We have a number of callers that call in, viewers that say that's not the answer. What is the answer in your opinion?
Well, it's a multifaceted approach, but I will say this. Ohio, unfortunately, is #1 in the nation in the number of opioid deaths. But if we were #1 in education and job creation, we wouldn't be #1 in opioid deaths, because more people would have hope and purpose in their lives and opportunity, and they'd make better decisions, and they'd be lifted up so that they wouldn't have to turn to drugs as a means of living their lives. But I will say this, there's a couple things that need to do. First of all, we need to stop over-prescribing opioids from our
Which there are measures
system.
Already in place to track that and stop doing that.
A little bit, but not enough. We need to put into law that you're not allowed to prescribe these opioids for longer than 7 days, other than in terminally ill situations.
Right.
We need to hold China and Mexico accountable. Those are the places that are sending the fentanyl and carfentanil into our country, and at the federal level, we've got to demand accountability from them. But we also have to demand accountability from the population. We need to give people access to treatment. We need to do a better job with mental health services and things like that. But we also have to have a society that's more personally accountable. We'll help you, but we've got to start demanding more of people in the system.
Our I-team, though, has found a number of dealers who get busted for possession and dealing of opioids and heroin, et cetera, and they're right back out on the streets. What can you do as governor to change the judicial system?
We've got to stop that. Look, I keep hearing people saying that we can't arrest our way out of it. That's true in part. But when you have people that are breaking
arresting the dealers and arresting the people who are overdosing are two different things.
You got to do, but you have to do both if they're committing crimes. If they're committing crimes and putting that poison back out into our streets, we've got to stop that. And also, if people are committing property crimes, to break into your house or your car, to steal money to fund their addiction, we got to stop that too. we have to have treatment available, but people have to be accountable, and if they're not willing to help themselves, then we're going to have to get them off the streets.
Can you change the way dealers are handled and keep them behind bars?
You absolutely can, but I want to pursue a more hopeful future for Ohio, and I mean this. If we do a better job at educating young people, creating job opportunities that give them the ability to do much more constructive things with their lives, then we're not going to have as many of them turn to opioids. I also believe strongly in faith-based solutions. I was at the opening of a place called the Field of Hope. It's in Appalachia, to help people through faith-based initiatives get off of drugs, realize that there is a purpose and a mission in life that's bigger than you, and to give people access to those kinds of programs as well, where I believe that they can have a spiritual healing that will help them kick this habit.
All right, our conversation will continue with the Secretary of State right after this break.
The people, the headlines, the issues impacting you, all on This Week in Cincinnati on 9 on Your Side.